Hello. Hello, everyone. I first of all want to say, yes, I know what time it is. I'm an hour and 15 minutes late because I actually was so tired that I laid down and I went to sleep. Uh, I didn't mean to fall asleep, it just happened. So, yeah. So, what have you guys done all day? How has everybody's day gone? Hang on one second, I'm checking. Ah, oh, somebody help me. Let's see. Okay. I'll turn this down all the way. I see a lag on the screen, so I'm trying to make sure that the lag was just at the beginning. I see a lag on the screen, so I'm trying to make sure that the lag was just at the beginning. Wow, it is behind. Okay, good to know. Yeah, that's about 30 seconds behind. All right. It could be just because my household, I don't know. But I just wanted to check that, make sure at least that the video stream was not real. Make sure my audio and video matched up. Is what I was trying to make sure of. So anyway, I'm back for this is rebroadcast part 2, whatever you want to call it, redo from this morning. As this morning we had so many interruptions and distractions that I actually had to get off the line. Plus, the live even got interrupted because of me. I stupidly disconnected us when I was trying to switch my mic around. No, it's right. But I did have today some time to put together some talking points um, to expand on what I was talking about this morning. This morning, I was talking about creative outlets and letting your creativity come through, because what happens if we don't have creativity, then we actually our little spirit inside of us just starts to get slower and slower and slower and eventually just stops. And we don't want that. We don't want to be people just walking around in shells. We want to have our spirit within us. We want to be alive. And even though we have chronic illnesses and chronic conditions and chronic pain, that doesn't mean that we can't be walking around and feeling alive within ourselves. So I think that the key to this is someone's creativity, the spontaneity, the fun, the zest of life. So I put down a few points that I wanted to talk about that I believe would be answers to questions you all might have. And I hope that these inspire you. So the first one is feeling like you're still valued. This is something that I know for me, I struggle with. And let's turn that off for a minute. And then I struggle with it. I know that it's very, very hard for me to feel valuable and valued. Not by loved ones. I know my loved ones value me, my mom, my sister, my brother in law, other relatives, they value me. I get that. But I mean valued as in you got something to put into the world, valued as in if you were to communicate with someone else outside of your circle of people, that they would be, oh, okay, thanks. I'm glad I talked to you, that type of thing. Because we all have moments where we just go along day by day and we're talking to each other. We go through the drive through, we say, okay, here, thanks for, getting my coffee, that type of thing. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about sometimes you have that little spark that happens in a conversation and you know that you've really connected and you're like, wow, okay, this person is actually listening to what I'm saying and I'm listening to what they're saying. What a unique thing this actually is. So that's what I'm talking about. And if you can, when you experience those little moments, that's kind of what makes it, you know, um, what makes you feel like you've done something really good. So just remember that you are always valued. Even if you can't see it, those people who you value and who value you, they're out there. They are in the world. They're just waiting to meet you. There is a predetermined, well, not a predetermined, but there is probably fate is going to take you, whether, excuse me, for either from right now, it's true, or if it's true tomorrow, it can be true both times where you're going down your road and you know that fate knows that you're going to meet somebody, come across somebody in a daily conversation that you click with, whether whether you meet them today or tomorrow, whatever. But I think that the status of whether or not you're going to meet them is the same as I'm talking about it right now and somebody talking about it next week. It's still the same. Nothing's going to change really between now and next week that I think is going to stop you from going about a um, normal daily routine type of task for you. Obviously, there are things that get in the path of us, and take us off of our journey, but I really think almost like it's predetermined, although I guess I would say predetermined. I think that we have a road that we're on and we have points, landmarks along that road that we are going to come across. And I think that those are predetermined, not all the other little stuff. Okay, just the highlights. That's what I'm trying to say. So today, the next big highlight for you is coming up. You don't know how you're going to get there, and you don't know how you're going to get there from tomorrow, but it is still there. So it's going to come up whether or not. All right. And the next one is you can only do what you can do, and you have to be okay with that. There are things that you can contribute because you are valued into your household, into the world. But this specific thing says feeling okay about it when you can only do what you can do and nothing more. That's what the entire point says. I just couldn't put all that in the screen in the little banner here. But you need to feel okay when you can only do with what you can do and not make yourself feel guilty on top of it, because feeling guilty on top of it, you're actually making yourself feel the sadness and the regret that you can't do what you're doing. Plus you feel the guilt at feeling the guilt of not being able to do what you're doing, and because it affects somebody else. So you're actually feeling it twice is what I'm trying to say. I think that we all feel guilty about when we do things, and when we don't do things, or people don't walk around necessarily so proud of themselves, they're patting themselves on the back. And that's why it's a big joke when you go, I just pat myself on the back here, everything's good. That's why it's a joke, because people don't walk around like that. People walk around normally kind of just, feeling like they either could have done this wrong or this right and said this or said that. And walking around thinking, I know I do. I walk around feeling guilty all the time. And where that guilt comes from, I will tell you right now, is feeling guilty that I got sick and that I cannot participate as a strong member in my family and kind of be a very helpful leader type of role to my family and to be there when they need me and to be somebody that gives into the family and not takes from it. It's very hard for me to get away from that guilt, but I have to, because if not, I'm hurting myself once, then I'm making my people hurt, which makes me feel guilty again. So that's what I was trying to say is you feel the regret, and then you feel the regret again because you've upset your people. So you're feeling it twice when you should just be letting it go. So that is that point. And the next point, the final point, I didn't even really put it on a banner, but you need to feel confident. I'll do this. You need to feel confident enough to ask for change if you need them. And you need to say to your family, look, I know that, I don't contribute as much to this in this situation, but that doesn't mean I don't know what to do in this situation. So you need to feel like, you need to say, you don't really ask me about how I feel about this or I not my opinion on this, but I want to I want to kind of stand up and say, hey, look, I got my opinion on this and I feel just as strongly about it as I did when I wasn't sick. So that is something else that you need to feel confident in doing, that you can stand up to in your group of whatever the issue is, whoever the issue is with, and you just need to say, hey, you know, I'm still here. You need to not feel, don't diminish yourself so much that you are down and you feel like you are maybe only half the amount of person, that you only get to be about half of the amount of person as other people do. You are just as important and just as much of a person, 100%, as everybody else. Everybody else can walk around feeling like they are 100% part of being their person, and so can you. You are in no way, shape, or form allowed. I'm telling you, you're not allowed to diminish yourself and what you stand for and what type of presence you have, because you are 100% you, and you need to feel confident in that. And I am pointing this out, and I feel so strong about it because I feel that way myself. It's very, very hard for me to do these three things. So, that's why I wanted to talk about them, um, because it's very important. It's just very important that you do not let your spirit get knocked down and get squashed with day-to-day life and with life in general, because we are all feeling the fatigue. We're all feeling the chronic aches and pains, feeling the joints hurt and going to the doctor when this hurts or this hurts because it's a new pain, and find out that it's still a fibromyalgia pain, a new fibro pain, one that doesn't have a cure and it's not going to go away. They can only treat these things with, treat the symptoms, but they're always there. I'm with you. I understand. So I am just trying to give you a couple of little tips that, that you can take with you and that you can carry with you as you go throughout your day. That's what I'm trying to give to you. So hopefully this helped a little bit. And if you're watching it live, type #live for me so I know that you were here. And oh, I love you too. I just clicked over to the comments and I see that, Dara. Well, I get very emotional about this, and I really feel that, that when you're down and when you're sitting in your house with the lights off, and you don't want the light to come in because the light equals life, and you feel like you're nothing, and that you just you just want to curl up into a ball in the dark. That's what I would always want to do. Just curl up into a little ball in the dark and just kind of get so small that I just poof and I just disappear. And it's I can't even describe the way that that feels. And I know that there are people out there that feel that same way. And I want to talk to you people. I want to tell you these three things. You are valuable. You are 100% you. And what was the other one? You can only do what you can do. Those three things you must go through every day, knowing. And I want you to write them down, keep them with you, do whatever you got to do. So, anyway, hopefully that helped. And I love you. I love you all, my warriors. And I will talk to you tomorrow at 11 a.m. This time I'll be ready. And hopefully I won't disconnect the stream as I'm halfway through it. So I will see you tomorrow. Bye.